There's a big largemouth. Real big.
Ooh, it is a good one. Boy, that's a nice one.
Real big. Nice largemouth.
Well, going out with an open mind and being able to change your bait to the conditions. You know, I'm thrilled to be able to show you some of the things that I want to show you today. And I'm fishing today with Will Clute. And Will's one of the best bass fishermen that I've ever fished with. And we both use different techniques. We catch fish in different ways. But we're going to show you all the different techniques that work today, and we're going to try to explain them as clearly as we can so that you can do the same things that we're doing. Now, I'm using a plastic worm right now. Will's going to be using a horny toad, and we've got some other surface lures. We may show you about spinner baits. The fish are pretty much going to tell us what we want to show you because they're going to tell us what works today. But first of all, I'm going to start with this worm, and I want to rig it, show you how to rig it so that you can do the exact same thing. So let's look at that now. Now I've taken a 4-inch, it's a Sanko type worm. There's many names. There's a case, they're called a magic stick, or this one is what? What's this one?
It's a yum dinger.
A yum dinger. Point is, you can get any of the type of worms that look like this and they're going to work. You want to run your hook through the very top of the worm, the head of the worm, and run it in about 1/4 inch, like so. See what I mean? And then push the worm down all the way down to where the knot is on your line. Push it all the way down. And these hooks have got twists in them, so you've got to run around the twist as you do this. Then what we want to do is we want to make that worm lie straight. So we want to bunch it a little bit so that when we pull the hook through and pull it down, it's going to fall straight. Now that's got a little bit of a bend in it, but it's not bad. It's pretty good, and it's good enough for what I want to do. But if it gets too curled, it'll swing through the water, and you won't have a good natural look. So that's all you have to do. Now with this hook buried in the worm, the hook point's buried, there's nothing there where my hand's going or where any lily pads or weeds would be, so there's no way it's going to hook up, so it becomes weedless. And that's what you really want for this tight cover. This has always been one of your favorite things. I've never even used a horny toad today, and yet a lot of pro bass fishermen use this lure. They have a lot of luck with it, so I'm going to learn something right along with everybody else that's watching. So show us how you rig it first.
Okay, well, first of all, it's basically rigged how Don rigged the Sanko bait. What you do is you take your frog, and you're going to slide the hook through the head. You want to go down about 1/4 inch into the body. The reason why you want to go down 1/4 inch with these wide gap hooks, this is a 4-aught. It's a 4-aught wide gap hook. You see the bend in the top here. You see this little space here. You got about 1/4 inch gap here. And what you want to do is you want to be able to fill that gap. You want your bait to be able to sit right up where your knot is. So what you're doing is you're sliding the hook all the way through the bait. You want to pull it up to that bend, and then you want to turn the hook. As you're turning it, you're pushing it on the bait. You're pushing it on, you're sliding it up. Now on the bottom of these zoom toads, there's a little cavity in the middle of the body here. You can see that cavity there. That's where you slide your hook through. Actually, let me turn it around here. And what we're going to do here is the little cavity's there. You slide the hook through the cavity, through the body, all the way through until the hook pops out the top. And you just slide it in like that. You see your hooks are exposed through the back.
And again, that's supposed to lie straight, just like the worm?
Yeah, it'll lie flat. A lot of guys, some guys will just leave the hook barely sticking out of the body like that. So when you throw it, it rides on top of the water like this. But since we're going to be fishing around weeds, lily pads today, what you want to do is you want to take the body and you want to sink the hook into the body. And how you do that is you squeeze the body. You want to push it up on the hook a little bit and then sink the hook just a little bit into the body, just so that tip is just under the surface. So what happens there is when the bass swims up to it and the bass bites it, what happens is when he squeezes down on it like this, the hook pops out of the body. When you set the hook, you're putting that pressure on it, makes the hook come out and you hook your fish. If you rig it correctly, it'll be sitting straight like that on your hook. It'll look just like that.